If you like what you see, why don't you think about subscribing? And make sure to check out my channel for videos just like this. What's going on, folks? It's MrBucketlist here, and today I'll be giving you all a full review of Craft Tampa here in Florida. Let's check it out. Now, before we get started, I just want to say I could not find any good videos of this that weren't on Instagram and TikTok, so everything was all squished, and of course, portraits. I just couldn't find those things, but here's some pictures of it. It's a nice looking vessel. It is clean. It just launched this month, so March 2024. Let's go ahead and go through the process. Now, in regards to boarding, it is very similar to what you have on an actual cruise ship. So basically, you go and check in. They don't need your passport or anything, but you go and check in. You do need your ID, and then they find your name on the list. And then they have like a little waiting area. Now, we were there at the waiting area for maybe, who knows, maybe a minute or two. And then after that, they said it was time for us to board. So we all stood up and we just walked over to the vessel. Now, this is the reason why I don't have a good actual like video of the vessel for myself, is because it was like in this weird area behind the Starship, the yacht Starship that they have, which is a different brand, well, different type of cruise that you can do. I'm not sure if they're the same brand or not, but that was in the way, so I couldn't actually get a good view of our riverboat. With that said, everyone was nice and friendly. The walk to get there wasn't that far. It was wheelchair accessible. And then when you first get there, if you want to, they do have an option for you to take a picture, and then you can buy the picture later on. I opted not to do that. I don't need pictures. I have my cameras and stuff like that, but it is there for couples who want that memory that has the official craft logo and things like that.
Please watch your step if you first walk in. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you. Wow.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. Now, before we get to my actual thoughts on the food and my experience myself, I do just kind of want to go over what this is. So this is similar to a river cruise slash a culinary experience. So it's not necessarily a dinner cruise because it's more about what goes into it and the atmosphere and stuff like that. But it is similar to that. Like I said, it's kind of a mixture of both. As you can see, it's really nice. It's almost like you're walking into a restaurant. And then as far as the actual experience itself, and so they have different meal times that you can book it for. They have brunch, which is like the breakfast lunch. They have a dinner, and then they actually have a lunch coming up as well. But different time periods, and the different time periods that you go to, they're going to have different stuff on the menu. Now, I actually went during the River O Green Festival, as you all saw earlier. It was the St. Patrick's Day weekend where the river was green in Tampa Bay and things like that. For this one, this was a little bit different because it was a pre-selected menu. Everyone received the same items no matter who you were. And the cool thing was for me, because I went solo, usually I kind of get shafted because I have to pay double and basically get half the whatever. On this experience, I got the same amount of portions that everyone else got that were couples. So it was really cool. With that said, if you go to different time periods, if you go like during brunch or during dinner or something like that, they have a menu that you can choose from, and during that menu, you can actually choose. They have like a different selection of like entrees and sides, stuff like that. You can pick one of each, so maybe one entree, one dessert, one side, things like that. But for mine, like they didn't have that because of the occasion, so everyone just got the same thing. And then I'll kind of go over what we did get. Now, one thing I do want to note, as far as the alcohol and the drinks, that is not included. So when you buy the ticket, it includes the food, but the alcohol and drinks are going to be a separate charge that you'll get charged at the end of the cruise. So just keep that in mind. Now, to quickly go through the items, the first course that we had was this almost like a meat and cheese plank with some carrots on top. That was very good. Just very high quality as far as flavor and things like that. Next, we had this pancake. I think they called it an Irish pancake, which had like salmon and then the pancake stuff, and then some like little cheese and chives. That was good as well. And then after that, we had this soup. Now, I can't remember the name of the soup, and I'll probably put title cards down there, but the soup was great. And now, obviously, as you all can see, these are all small portions, but once you have so many of them, they do start to fill you up. So that was really good as well. And then we had this fish and chips. Now, I was expecting a little bit more out of this, but this, again, was just really small. It was good. It was just almost over as soon as I took a bite out of it. And then the last thing we had was this cake, and this was good as well. All the items were great. Again, the whole ship had all the same items, so no one had anything different besides drinks. I did thoroughly enjoy the food for the amount that we paid for this experience. It wasn't bad at all. And then, of course, as you all can see, the views itself are great. It basically starts from the Channelside district in Tampa, which is near the cruise port. And then it goes all the way down to Armature Works, which is at the very end of the Riverwalk, and then back around as well. So The views, the experience, everything was really cool. Now, as far as my only criticisms, I have two. One is when it comes to the seating. So, because I was a solo, they made me choose outside seating, which was fine. But they made me sit at the bar, and I cannot stand sitting at that bar, y'all. I hate the high top chairs. Everyone else had tables and had their legs nice and relaxed, and I was sitting in the high top. So I didn't like that whatsoever, and I even emailed them and tried to sort that out, and it just wasn't happening. The second thing was they also, when you first book it, they asked if you have any type of special occasions. I said, hey, I'm a YouTuber. This is a big deal to technically do my first somewhat of a cruise outside of Tampa. I've been trying to do one of these for years. I just wanted to make a big thing. They completely disregarded that. I mean, it was a waste of my time even putting that in there. So if celebrations are your thing and you like to let people know ahead of time when they have that option, and you get upset when they don't follow through with it, I would just kind of just set your expectation towards that. For me, it wasn't a big deal. I just want to put that out there. Outside of that, I would definitely say this is a must do. As far as just the food, the experience, everything, it's literally like a floating restaurant when you get beautiful views of all of downtown Tampa. You really can't beat it. Now, of course, the prices are going to change depending on which time period it is. I actually got one of the cheaper versions because it was a special event and it was only almost like appetizers. But either way, I still recommend it, at least for a one-time thing, just to say you did it. I can highly recommend Craft Tampa. So I hope you all enjoyed this quick review. It's Mr. Bucket List. I'll be seeing you soon. Peace out.